Now.
No.
Yes. Hi, Kara. Welcome to Unstrim.
Welcome to stream where we definitely know what we're doing.
We always know what we're doing on these streams.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just that we know what we're doing 5 minutes before we do it.
Exactly.
5 minutes is generous, I think.
I mean, yeah.
We're still processing it largely during the music. Hi. Right, let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. Oh no, it didn't work for Ragdoll. No!
No. Oh no, fix it now.
I can fix this.
Live on stream.
I
Live
will
on
fix
stream
this.
fix.
I think I know what it might be. I think I know what the issue is. I will fix live on stream.
Live on stream fix.
Although due to Christie's stylus tapping, it just looks like Christie's going marp, 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 marp. Which I'm on board with.
Listen, you just
I mean,
gotta
do you not make weird faces when you're drawing? My understanding is that's just what animators do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Me, the animator.
Yeah.
Christi. I'm trying to fix Ragdoll. Ragdoll. Here we are.
Whoops.
That
I'm
looks
just
like
trying to zoom, I'm sorry.
Why? No, I don't know why it's not working. Help!
It's hiding from you.
I demand reparations. Why is that? CSS is a mystery. Welcome to the stream.
Yay!
Where we absolutely know what we're doing.
Absolutely. No one has ever told us otherwise. So.
Well, if you're not told something, you don't know.
Exactly.
How do you make like a speech bubble be whispery?
Make it all squiggly at the bottom. Oh, hang on. I think I forgot a curly brace. There it is.
Yay, we did
I forgot a curly brace. There's a Ragdoll on screen now.
There's a Ragdoll. Look at that Ragdoll. Oh, look at us. We're all so cute.
Oh, I didn't shift it back.
Yeah, that's pretty much my experience with HTML coding as well. You forget one curly brace somewhere, and then everything is wonk.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do for your little avatar-y thing, Ragdoll, so I just did your little avatar.
It's a little stick figure. So the stick figure is actually from that's from an old comic a friend of mine drew back in high school. And I've just sort of used that as my avatar ever since. Partially because that's supposed to be me. It did sense. So the joke in high school was that I'm a very bad ninja. Because when I'm trying to be... Well, it basically started where it's just kind of like, for whatever reason, when I'm just walking around not thinking about it, people don't notice I'm there, and then they become surprised when I'm suddenly standing behind. But when I'm actually trying to be sneaky, it doesn't work, and everyone just notices that I'm there.
Well, at the moment you're being a half-good ninja, because when you're not on a white background, you look just like a floating slice of cheese. So...
It's one way to be stealthy, I guess.
Strange mimicry, but you've got it down well. Yeah. So today, in a very well planned idea, we are going to be. We've got some random monster name generator things, and we're going to be making some random monster names for each other. I guess it doesn't have to be for each other. We could just do it for ourselves because we don't know what it's going to be. But
no. We have to do it for each other. You get picked one thing, and you have to draw it. You have to deal with it.
Rota time again.
Yeah, we're letting... Whoops.
Oh, Jesus.
We're letting the computer do some of the generation, but the human gets to decide which thing the computer generated is the funniest.
Exactly.
And then subject it on each other.
The first one I get, Jesus.
Well, I mean,
It does automatically generate 10. I have used this before, actually. In my 16 symbols enemy thing, I randomly generated a couple. I think that's where Smoke Hood came from.
yeah.
I took a screenshot for proof. Because this is something.
What did you get?
Okay.
What did you get? Oh, we'll find out.
I mean, yeah. Keep it a surprise.
I guess we could ask people to choose a number between 1 and 10 to work out which it is, or just choose the best one.
Choose the best one.
I think they get more complicated as they go down.
Yeah, they become more words.
I want to be cruel and choose that one.
Well, you can.
A cruel stream.
I'll give whoever an option. I say whoever. I've just written the rota. Who would like to go first to draw?
I haven't drawn anything today. I'd like to start.
Frame Man's here. Oh, it's been a while.
Yay!
Hello, Frame Man.
everyone.
You're stealing my stream.
As opposed to yesterday, where the game was stealing your stream.
Yeah, Raft is oddly intensive on the CPU. I did not expect that at all. Sorry about that. I don't know how long that was going on for.
A while, but at the start of it, I just assumed that my computer was messing up because the power had gone out at my apartment literally all morning that day.
Oh dear.
So I just figured, okay, power's been out, internet's still fixing itself, and then Kira was also just kind of like, oh hey, it's messing up, and it's like, oh okay, so I'm not the only one looking at a slideshow.
We're only certain that things are going wrong when there's more than one person who says, is Frame Man here? So
yeah.
if you think things are going wrong, do ask, because that's the only way anyone's going to know that it's not just them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's also just internet problems are so common.
I just refuse to take responsibility and always blame it on Frame Man.
Yeah.
That's also fair. I have no idea. Frame Man is being very hungry today. Oh, it's also messing up. Apparently my connection to the voice chat is also quite bad. So my internet is just having a time this evening. Great, somebody else should draw first.
I mean, Christi was gonna draw first, right?
Christi!
Yay.
Oh, that does mean I'm making your prompt.
Generate a prompt.
What do I want to see Christi draw?
See, and that's the other thing.
Do
Do you
you
give
know
them something
what
where it's
else?
like, I want to see you draw it, or do you give them something where it's like, this makes me laugh, and I
Yeah.
want to subject it onto you?
I like the idea of giving you something really vague. There's one here called The Infamous Fiend, which says nothing.
The infamous
The
fiend.
Jabberwocky.
Yeah. Okay. I would like you to draw me a gloom golem.
Oh, a gloom
Gloom
That's
golem.
golem. Horrible.
That's very cute.
A little gloom golem. Oh,
Yeah,
yay.
it's just a little sad baby.
Oh, okay. That's a sad old baby.
But a golem. Made out of, like, candle wax or something.
It's traditionally clay.
Yeah,
but
I forgot for a second what a golem was.
that's also fair.
they like rings. They eat paper.
Yeah, it's a creature out of Jewish folklore. So made out of usually clay and rock. Helps protect the community. And God, what's the story with it? It's like there's a writing on their forehead that brings them alive that I believe the story is that the word on their forehead means breath. And the way you
Emmet, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But the catch is, or the trick is, I guess, you erase one letter and then it becomes basically it kills them because the word for breath then becomes something else, and I don't remember what the other one is.
I think it turns into death or something. Hang on, let me look up. I should not be looking this up with the internet that I have at the moment.
No, look up more stuff. That will definitely help.
Yes. Okay. So
just open 50 tabs on Google.
Yeah. So it's as Kira says, it's Emmet, or however it's pronounced. I don't know. Which means truth, apparently.
Oh, truth.
And so if you take out the aleph at the end, I don't know how that would change the pronunciation because I'm bad. It just turns into met, which means dead.
Okay, yes, truth and death. Okay.
Truth and death.
Where did I get breath from? Anyway.
It's like death, and you were trying to think of a word that means life. So it's poetry, it rhymes. But yes, I know the Emmet thing because in fact next week's Poltermon comic will involve that. I have a little gollet that I called Emmet for that reason.
Oh,
Emmet.
cute.
And I think they'll make an appearance in the next comic. I've kind of written myself into a corner with those comics because for those who don't know, people are supporting me on Patreon. I'm making a comic just in my warm-up time in the mornings about a playthrough of Pokemon that I'm doing with only ghosts. And it's very silly, and apparently it's also my villain origin story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say something about that. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Where was this sentence going? Help me.
I
have these
You've
comics.
written yourself in the corner?
That's it. Thank you. I'm glad someone's listening. I'm not. Yes, I've written myself into a corner because I have more comics written than I have made yet. And so I don't really want to play anymore because I've just written so much already. And it's like I've done 3 gyms. I've written 20 comics and I've done 3 gyms. This is going to be huge.
Listen. And that's why they're warm-ups. It's fine. We can be patient. I'm loving all these comics. I'll happily read them for the next 20 years.
Might take a while.
I mean,
I'll try and get more done.
It's not the strangest origin I've seen with a Pokemon comic. There was a Pokemon comic based off of the Black and White games, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was called. But basically, the first arc of it was just the artist throwing around and having people supply random things for like, oh, what happens next? Random bit. And then they decided, well, I guess this is now a narrative comic. But they never retconned out the first chapter, quote unquote, of all the randomness. In fact, they incorporated it into the comic by saying, oh yeah, that was just a bunch of glitches by Missing No. So,
you know, in most stories, it's, you know, if you can't explain it, a wizard did it. Here, it's Missing No did it. It's fine.
But then Missing No also becomes a major character in the rest of the plot, so it's like, okay.
Cool.
Oh, that looks too much like boobies.
It happens.
What was one draw things.
I've been trying to work that out for a while.
Yeah.
As yet unknown.
He's just a little mad baby.
Yay.
He's upsetty.
Upsetty spaghetti. I remember babies as just being lumpy.
I mean,
that's because they
true.
are.
Yeah, they're just a lot of folds.
It's a good reason to remember something is because it's correct.
Yeah, babies are potatoes.
Little babies.
I do also like how we've managed to get
Yeah,
to
and
the
if
point
you
that,
just
like,
sort of squish their legs and arms into them, there's just nothing.
like a seal with its face, poke its nose.
Then it just becomes a ball.
Babies are just balls with ideas beyond their station.
I mean, not wrong. There's a picture we have of one of my second cousins as an infant. But they've been swaddled in such a way that their like legs and arms are just like right next to their torso and then swaddled up in a blanket. So it just looks like a head attached to a purple ball. And it's like there's nothing there. Are we sure this is a human? This doesn't look like a human.
We have entered the Piku Niku universe. Everybody is fun blob.
Yay, blob with legs. Or maybe without legs, who knows?
Sometimes legs, sometimes not.
Yeah.
All blob.
All blob. And funny little shapes.
Oops.
Maybe legs, but you don't have to.
It's not like the legs are good for much until a bit later anyway, so.
I accidentally re-randomized the monsters because I clicked on this. I clicked on an explanation as to how this works, and it's like it's a random generator. I know how it works. But one of the ones that has been regenerated, which I think works for this as well, is Putrid Child. All one word.
That also works.
Some of these are fun. I don't know what the parallel face looks like. What does the parallel face look like?
That sounds like an SCP.
It does, yeah. It sounds more sci-fi than
just
fantasy.
Yeah,
like,
this sounds like some weird alternate dimension shenanigans going on here.
Yeah, it's just like weird and you don't quite get what it means, but also it's like if you look it up on the SCP Foundation thing, it's just a picture of a guy in a mask.
Look, it's hard to find.
Or not even a guy in a mask, just a mask laying.
Just a mask. To be fair, there is a good. One of the more well-known SCPs is a mask. And it's one of the few SCPs that's made me jump, because it's a mask that's like it's that classic like drama comedy sort of mask thing. Like one of them smiling, one of them's sad. But it's just one mask, and I think on the website, like every now and then, the picture just changes. And it changed while I was reading it.
Ooh.
And I sort of scrolled down and scrolled up, and I was, oh god.
I remember the first kind of internet horror thing I got subjected to was this comic book where I don't know how it works, but it was programmed so that all of a sudden it scrolls down to the last page where there's a jump scare.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't like the internet for a while after that.
Yeah, you did have those. I think one of the least favorite favorite slow burn ones of those was back in the day. I used to play a lot of point and click puzzle games. And there was one that was drawn to my attention, which was a kind of horror themed one. It had sort of like really cool pre-rendered backgrounds of like spooky environments, and you were going around and solving this little mystery sort of thing. And it was a fully fledged game, and it was good as far as I remember. It was just a lot of work went into it. And there was this one room in it that was just like an attic with a chest in it that you couldn't open. And I kept going back there. I was like, I need to open this chest. How does it work? So on and so forth. Anyway, I eventually finished the game, and then right at the end of the game, it went, congratulations, you have escaped this, so on and so forth. But there's one thing you forgot. And then it went to the room with the thing, with the chest. And I was like, oh yeah, that bloody thing. How'd you open it? And as I was thinking that, Screamer happened. It's just got you to sort of look at this thing. It's like, oh, what was it? What did I miss? Scream. And it's like, that was a long time for a screamer. Usually screamers are like, they get you invested for 10 seconds and then boom. But that was an entire game that led to a screamer.
Yeah.
Like, good on whoever made that. But it frightened the crap out of me. That's when I learned that my fright response is to put my head in my arms and just stay there until everything has gone. Because I don't remember putting my head in my arms. I just remember, oh, my head is in my arms now.
I mean, at least you didn't punch the screen.
Yeah.
Because you see all these things where it's like, oh, fight or flight, and they're mostly showing flight, but it's like, no, some people's reaction is fight.
Also,
so you've got realized... like there's a gif of like a gentleman doing a jump scare, jumping out of like one of those really big trash bins that are like almost as tall as a person. So like someone walks by and they like jump out of the trash bin to like surprise them. The person screams and then punches them, and the guy falls back, like crumples back down into the trash can.
I have seen that. That is. Yeah. It happens. I've also just now fixed, because I am a technical wizard. By which I mean I don't know how anything works. I have just turned you down, so you were approximately 10 decibels louder than you should have been. I apologise for that, Kira. But you are now back to the volume you should be at. So.
Yay!
Gloom baby, what was it again?
Gloom Golem.
Gloom Golem. Little Gloom baby, look at him.
Glolem. It's got the word lol in it.
Lol. No.
No.
No lol.
I do like how, just purely by virtue of Wick, among us hearing the word golem, we now think of Wop candles. So
yeah.
I'm pleased with that.
You made that happen.
I wanted an evil candle.
And you got a gremlin.
I got a gremlin.
Gremlin.
This was the whole idea that he has a candle snuffer. What's it called?
Yeah, candle snuffer.
Yeah.
A schnuffer.
Because he hates the flame. He likes the gloom.
He
doesn't like being a candle. There we go.
No atmospheric lighting, only gloom.
Only gloom. It's modern atmospheric lighting, as has been complained about on many an occasion.
Yeah. Just no lighting.
Yeah, no light.
Atmospheric, right?
The atmosphere is dark.
The atmosphere is you cannot see.
What's known in the business as pitch black. That's how you know that the environment is dark.
It's really hard to find these days, actually. Because you got fluorescent lights everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but still, somehow in movies they always manage
to
make
and then you can't see anything.
Yeah. It's
like, I'm trying to watch a movie. If I wanted to watch a black screen, I'd turn the TV off.
Yes, exactly.
That's one of my favorite quotes. Often does the rounds on Tumblr. Is comparing the difference between how the Lord of the Rings lit dark scenes compared to how modern TV and film lights dark scenes, which is by not lighting it. And was it Elijah Wood asked the lighting director at one point, "Where's that light coming from? It's nighttime. Where's that big blue light coming from?" And their response was same place as the music, which I think is yes,
right attitude to have.
I love that.
Yeah,
And you see
well,
that
I
post
mean,
so often because I reblog it every time I see it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's one of those posts that I'm just like, oh, there's that post again. There we go.
well,
I
I mean,
will die for this. This is a hill I will die on.
with old black and white films, they did a similar thing. It's like you've got one sort of overlay-ish color to represent day and another one to represent night, but like all the lights are still on. In fact, they're probably filming it during the day.
Yeah, day for night was really easy back then. Glowlum.
Yeah.
Hooray!
I know we've had like a 2-hour stream on me just complaining about.
Quick, Christi, make a prompt for Chib to draw.
Yes.
Quick.
Do you want the bad one?
Yes.
What a question.
Sure.
I can say it. I'll post it. No, I'll say. It's in one word.
Mm-hmm.
Paint freak.
What? Hold on. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. What?
It's gonna take
I
some
get
time
the
to
feeling
process.
you might have to show her evidence of the word.
Yeah, paint freak. Drawing all about Emmett Myth makes me want to replay Castlevania Lament of Innocence. Yeah.
It's the top one.
Oh, taint freak.
Tamed freak.
Okay. Well, it's just, the tainted lands. Some sort of plague or what
I
have
just
you.
saw it as the first one, and yeah.
Oh, you didn't go for Coffin Cat.
We've
I
already
haven't read
made our guess.
any of the other ones.
We've already tainted that bed.
The top one was too good.
What do you do with tamed freak?
What does anybody do with taint freak?
I don't know where to fucking start.
I can't pick another one.
No, I do like the challenge of it. It's just that,
I couldn't not choose that one.
okay. 'Cause I want to do it, but my brain is just not thinking of anything, which is a problem.
That's me most of the time.
Yeah. Start with just the person face, I guess.
Spite Hand is good, yeah. Spite Hand sounds like the name of an assassin or something. As he was starting off with just a lovely chap. Lovely friend.
Stop. I will make this horrifying somehow.
I can't
Gotta
wait
build
for
the
this.
face first.
Monsters can be cute.
You start with something normal looking, and then you slowly add more layers of horrifying.
Do you know what would be interesting? Something like Taint Freak would be an interesting one for us all to draw simultaneously and see how different they are.
Yeah. That too.
I mean, if I hadn't had the reaction I did, it might not have been funny at all, or made anyone have any thoughts or anything.
No, it's got the kind of vibes. It kind of sounds like something that you'd find in a Dark Souls-y sort of. It goes well with like the pus of man and the monstrosity of sin and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah. Just more Digimon vibes.
Digimon. I mean,
The more I learn about Digimon, the less I know about Digimon.
We still haven't done. We said we were going to do a wiki thing where everybody had a different Digimon wiki. We haven't done that yet.
About that.
We should do that at some point. Because I remember when I was a kid, I watched Digimon a little bit, and I had some Digimon cards, but I remember almost nothing about it. I remember something to do with gears. About it. Evil gears.
Was season 2.
Okay, we have a resident expert.
So Digimon is interesting to me because basically it started out as a Tamagotchi type game. And then I guess they were just kind of like, okay, this is of the times where in order to sell toys, there needs to be like some sort of show. So someone was like, yeah, we're gonna just go make a show to help us sell these Tamagotchi toys. And then I guess they just let the animators do whatever, and the animation team and story writing team just went really hard. And it's you didn't have to do all this. And then it just kept going.
It's incredible what you can do without a plot.
Oh, I've just seen the pose.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
It's what I've been looking at.
The head has moved.
It's fine. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Perfectly normal.
Yeah. I always walk like this.
I see where we're going, but it also makes a surprising amount of sense.
Everybody walks like this on Taint Tuesdays.
Exactly.
Taint Tuesdays, everybody.
What's wrong? Everything's fine, they say, turning their head 180 degrees.
Now that's one of those 2-sentence horror stories or something like that.
Everything was fine, but then monster.
Yay.
The one I find amusing is, okay, so you've got the 2-sentence horror stories, and then there's another subreddit where it's like, okay, take this 2-sentence horror stories and make it not a horror with just one more sentence.
Just make it harmless in one sentence?
Yep. So one of them was just kind of like, there's one of them where it's like, oh, spooky, like, oh, can you thank the female nurse, the redheaded nurse who helped me give birth to my daughter? And it's like, there is no redheaded nurse, and it's like, oh, spooky. And then the line that's added to it is, we found out then that she is very proud of her doctor title.
Ah. Wow.
So with the 2-sentence thing, it's like, ooh, spooky ghost nurse, and then the next sentence is like, no, she's a doctor. You will call her doctor.
That's very different vibes.
Well, that's not horror, I guess. There's the famous short story of like baby shoes for sale. Never worn or whatever. Never worn. Just like didn't fit. Just stick that on the end.
Yeah. Baby too small.
Yeah, my baby turned into a candle, so I just didn't.
or baby too big. My so I have a younger brother, and my parents were sort of already of the mind of eventually having 2 kids anyway, so some of my stuff that they bought was sort of bought with the intention of using with another kid. So I was born, 2 years later my brother was born, and the story goes that the comment of one of the nurses was, "My God, you've given birth to a 3-month-old."
Oh.
So he didn't fit in a lot of stuff. They had to rebuy diapers because he didn't fit into any of the newborn diapers they had gotten. Fortunately, they knew someone else who could take the other diapers off their hands, but it's still just kind of like, well, there goes that planning out the window.
It's a lot of planning for nothing.
But so yeah, Baby shoes, never worn. Baby too big.
I would like to redirect everybody's attention to what's being drawn.
It's
Castle
fine.
monster.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got a Picasso vibe. Photorealistic Picasso. Picasso is a taint on the world of art. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, welcome to my commentary on Picasso. You guys didn't let me complain about lighting in movies, so now I'm doing this instead.
I had something very important to tell you.
Oh dear.
So we'll take this opportunity to recommend a song by a band called Adam and the Ants. You may... probably only popular in Britain, but they were quite popular in the 80s. And they had a song which was never a single, but it has just one of the catchiest choruses I've ever heard. And it's called Picasso Visitas el Planeta de los Simios. I don't speak Spanish. The song is not in Spanish. I don't know why it's called that. But basically it's just 3 minutes of the lead singer saying how much they hate Picasso. Think he's a fraud. So I can recommend that. Picasso Visits the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, it's made now.
Man.
Apparently, it's also got some things to say about Picasso.
Why did you make me?
Exactly. Why did you make me?
Why?
I can only look goofy.
My phone doesn't open, it doesn't recognise my face.
Aww.
Why don't you use the fingerprint? I'm guessing they don't have normal
They
fingers.
don't have fingerprints, right?
They do have fingerprints, they just keep going. Like up the hand, up the arm. There's a weird sort of spirally pattern, just keeps going.
They
I
have
mean,
a-
technically you do too on your skin. It's just not as obvious as it is on your fingers.
Oh yeah.
Aww.
I know,
You're
I'm covered
making
in
with a
ripples.
friend.
Look at those chompers.
Big old chompers.
Okay, but with what you've drawn so far, either you just haven't gotten to the legs yet, or he is just really good at holding up an entire torso with just his arms.
Listen, I'm getting there. I haven't quite figured out in my head yet how the legs are gonna work.
Just extremely good
was
at
too fun.
planking.
I'm waiting to see if this is. Oh, I see the hairs now. I was waiting to see if it was a hairline situation or not.
No.
Now the thing is, there's a couple of ways you could view this. As is always the way I try and ruin other people's drawings. Are they eyes or nostrils, etc.? In this one, you could view it like, okay, head straight up, it's going down at the sides, there's a big sort of bit missing, and eyes drooping, so on and so forth. Or you could tilt your head slightly to the right and view it as it doesn't have a square chin, it's got a pointy chin, and its head is shaped like a love heart.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. He's got a hard face.
We need those kind of.
The taint freak has a little hot face.
Don't bully him.
I'm actually having quite a hard time to watch it as a square jaw.
So that's what I saw it as first. Well, like, I guess I saw the original face shape before it was carved.
Well, I guess in either way you could say it's heart shape. It's just stylistic or anatomical.
Oh, now I see two faces.
Faces. This is fun.
Turns out, taint freak, a lot of fun.
I mean, when it's kind of freeing to design something where it's like, yeah, this is the whole point of this is it's just supposed to be this gross monster thing, because you could just do whatever.
Yeah.
Should we do this for 1 week in Project Via?
Yeah.
Well, we need some monsters.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to make
circle.
The void.
Suddenly, void.
Hold your finger up on the right eye, and you might be able to see what I mean with that's like a separate face.
Yeah.
Face.
It's like two different faces smushed together.
The
Two halves don't look the same. Which is technically true for your face as well. It's just we're significantly more symmetric than this gentleman here. But yeah, if you go up to like a folding mirror or whatnot and have it put it up to your face so that your face is in the mirror and then reflected, so you've got the half of your face and then the reflection of your half of your face. It doesn't look like your face.
Yeah. You can do that with photos as well. Just take a photo, copy the left, flip it, put it on the right. It's a good time. Particularly given that most of the time people are not standing perfectly straight, so you end up getting a sort of trapezoid sort of.
It's weird that game characters doesn't look off then.
I guess we're not. I guess we're not looking for the asymmetry necessarily.
Yeah.
We're just used to what the thing is, as it were.
I mean, but also humans are sort of hardwired to find faces in things that aren't faces, which is where you get things like, oh, the Virgin Mary on a piece of toast.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you had the choice to, imprint your visage on anything in the world, why would it be toast?
Because why not? Toast is great.
Well, yeah, but it also gets eaten. That's why it's great.
But if you don't care about getting eaten.
Also, I want toast now.
I was gonna say something very cursed. I'm sorry.
What were you gonna say?
No, I'm not gonna.
Come on, you're already drawing Taint Freak.
I was gonna say maybe the Virgin Mary's into 4.
I would like to apologize to any Christians out there.
That might be sacrilegious, but also it's funny.
It's snack-religious.
Well, it's definitely that.
It's a sacrilegious as though it's away from the church.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you think about it, most of Christianity does more.
Yeah, I was going to say, eating the body of Christ, that is a thing, drinking the blood, etc.
I got it from his mother.
Joseph's just off to the side going, what?
Yeah. It's just what happens when you're, like, related to God.
I mean...
It's just what God does to you.
I'm trying to think of something clever to say. No, I got nothing.
I'm just trying not to die.
That's also fair. I am putting way too much time and effort into this. I'm sorry.
You're putting a lot of time and effort into the front half of this thing.
I am. Listen.
Those hands look very good, though. I mean, horrible, but very good.
So great.
And you could just cut it off and then just say it's just a torso. Then he's just really good at planking. No, that's not the right word.
I guess I could just do this.
Scaffolding.
But, do this, make some inside spaghetti fall out. And it's a Resident Evil monster, I guess. I don't know. We'll work it out later. First, I need to draw another hand because apparently this is what I've decided to commit my time to.
Yes, you've drawn one very good hand. You now need to repeat that.
This
It needs to be
beginning
as good, if
of-
not better. Go.
But also, since this is Taint Freak and it's a monster hand, you don't have to worry about silly things like anatomy making sense.
True. We have already ascertained there is not a lot of symmetry here. Or there does not need to be a lot of symmetry here.
We also do draw in the void, so physics.
That's also true.
I was going to say Taint Freak sounds more sort of Silent Hill than Resident Evil, so Heroes on the ball.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it looks like that hand looks like what's it
Hello, my
called?
baby.
The Thing? Is the hand from the Addams Family the Thing, or
Oh,
is
Thing,
it...
yeah.
Oh,
It's just Thing.
Yeah, thing.
Thing. In Danish, it's the Thing.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's a V.
Yeah, it
There's
looks
a
like
definite
it's
article.
scurrying.
One thing I
it
didn't
probably is, which probably makes it even more unsettling to watch as it moves around the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no back half, just scuttling on fingers.
Powerful fingies.
Very powerful fingies, Jesus.
Now that's making me think of something in Elden Ring, and I don't want to talk about Elden Ring because spoilers.
Powerful fingies in Elden Ring.
Elden Ring has a thing about fingers. That's all I'm going to say. And the fingers are universally not good. There are lots of different ones, but none of them are good. I don't like them. Tell them to go away. And I mean that as a compliment.
But I'm pretty sure my mind can't come up with anything as horrendous as actually in the game.
Elden Ring, like, there are some things in Elden Ring that are kind of horrendous, but honestly, I think it's one of the more goofy games in the series. There's a lot of goof. Like, okay, minor spoilers. Well, relatively major spoilers because I thought it was amazing. There's a boss in the game and you're fighting them, and they're very, like, in and of themselves, they are very silly because they are. Hang on, I will hang on. I will draw a little circle in the corner of the screen.
How dare you?
There it is. When the ring is gone, I've stopped talking Elden Ring spoilers. Okay. If you want to mute.
You're ruining the composition of my drawing.
I apologize. Okay, so I just fought a boss in Elden Ring, who is like 20 feet tall, massive, muscular, huge beast of a person who's just like corrupted and turned into a monster or whatever. But they're still riding the horse they rode when they were a normal person. So there's this tiny, tiny horse between their legs that looks so tired.
No.
And is just scuttling around. Like the legs of this person easily reach the floor when on the horse. And so they just sort of float around as this horse underneath just goes. But then just halfway through the fight, they just decide to jump into the air, and then they go away for a bit. And you're like, okay, is the fight over? And then they just come back down like as a meteor on fire and just crash into the floor and then continue the fight. It's like, this game is very silly.
I don't like that.
It was great because the music just stops and you're like, what's happening? This was really like, so many things were happening and now there's nothing, and then you just look up and there's just like a bright light in the sky and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it goes crash and then the fight just carries on.
But the disgusting monsters and like very creatively disgusting monsters are so fun.
There's some stuff in there that's, I don't know, is it disgusting? Like I think maybe I just haven't gotten there. You know, I'm not. It's in a very, very big thing, big open place, which I looked at and thought, oh, that's a big open empty place, and at no point thought you find a boss there because it's too big. Turns out there was a reason for that. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. Anyway, I've got rid of the circle, so I'm not saying anything specific. But yeah, no, I feel like the game just has a bit less creep and a bit more goof.
Yeah, well, I mean, even with your movement around, because you can get mounts in those games, but like they jump, they bounce.
Yeah.
It's like bouncy.
Aw.
Yeah, there's a lot of jumping around. You have, hang on, very good. Sorry, this is a very minor spoiler. If you've seen a trailer and you know this already, very quickly you get a horse in the game, and it can double jump. That's just part of its ability, spirit jump or whatever it's called. And occasionally you just find gusts of wind that just rocket you up into the sky. This game's goofy.
Is this Nintendo?
It kind of feels like, I don't know, it feels goofy. Steed is a jumpy friend, yeah. Sorry, are we done with Taint Freak?
I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to add is my problem. Like, I don't feel like it's done, but I don't know what else to add, so I guess I'm kind of done.
I feel like Taint Freak is one of those prompts that you could just be here for the rest of the evening.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, so I call it quits.
Evening, CC, not day. I didn't say day, did I? No, not DDDD. What are you talking about?
It's fine.
What is...
Getting trolled by the closed captioning.
CC is just having a time at the moment. CC0, DDDDD, sis. CC is having a strong corabondulance.
Clearly, CC just wants you to play the new Kirby game. They want to see King Dedede.
Yeah. Oh, you know Bondulance?
That's really what thinking.
Wow.
Oh, dear.
This is trolling.
Oh, yeah.
CC's either just as competent as Hazel or a wonderful troll. I prefer to believe the latter. Well, this is Taint Freak, which doesn't scan with Super Freak, but I'm trying in my head. It doesn't work.
There he is, my boy.
Yay.
My boy. I'm adopting this.
It's your Morbo.
Yeah.
Taint Freak, meet the noise boys.
I'm gonna make a horror game, apparently.
I'm here for that.
It's a good master.
I'm not stopping you having the horror area in Project Via, so.
I don't know how I'm gonna work this into Project Via. But I will work this and the noise boys into them. That's just what's gonna happen.
Well, because we're going to be designing things for everybody else's areas, you could work it into someone else's area, and they have no choice in the matter.
I'll just render this horrifically, and then I'll send it to them. And they have to love it.
There you go. This is now in your enchanted forest. Good luck.
Have fun. Work that into your lore.
The prompt was for wildlife. Good luck.
Oh God, now I'm just imagining this in like hordes, like deer.
They roam so gracefully.
Just running around.
Just sort of slapping sounds as they...
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I would be down for like going through an area and you find like an old cemetery or something and it's just infested with these things and it's like, oh God.
It has to have a cute witch though.
Who is also screaming at these things.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, this is Taint Freak.
This is Taint Freak coming to your area soon.
And that is a threat.
Yes.
Yes.
Hot Taint Freaks in your area. Hot Taint Freaks in your area. Cool now. Cool. Chib, do you want to generate something for Ragdoll?
Sure. God.
Hero says no.
Well, too bad. You don't have the choice in it. Okay, I'll pick this one because it made me laugh. The bitter phenomenon.
Ooh.
Bitter phenomenon.
Yes.
That sounds...
Asian.
Phenomenon makes it sound like some sort of mystical, magical mumbo-jumbo thing, but bitter makes it sound like they're not happy about it.
I want it to
So
be normal.
I'm sort of thinking this is like just a wizard who's just kind of like really sick of their job at this point.
Being a wizard's that job.
I want it to be a rogue.
God, I think it's out of this series. There's a series that I loved in middle school called the Enchanted Forest Chronicles, which is, you know, sort of fairy tale-esque thing, but silly. And so one of the things in there is like there's a side character who's an enchantress who just kind of like, I'm really sick and tired of people coming to my house and knocking on my door and asking me to fix their problems. So yeah, sort of that sort of vibe.
I'm imagining like that sentence is like cute, grumpy little witch sitting in front of the fireplace with their cauldron and just harumphing into this view.
This kind of it gives me a sort of vibes. This name of like sort of gifted kid syndrome. You know what I mean? The bitter phenomenon, like the everybody expected a lot of them because they were smart.
Yeah.
They're just really angry that everyone keeps putting pressure on them.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to this shape.
Oh no, I've just my brain, as it does tend to, likes misinterpreting things. And it was less misinterpreting. Angie. But I just tried to work out sort of how would this look different. And I thought, is that a hat or is that like a thumbtack? And now I'm imagining like a tiny wizard with a thumbtack hat.
That would be adorable.
just wearing like pencil shavings as a cloak. Stationary wizard.
Office wizard.
Yeah.
But they're bitter.
Office and keep like displacing your papers and stuff.
They've bent a paperclip into a staff.
Oh, cute. Tiny Worlds is just cute. Shrink your character and make them interact with the world around them, and it's just cute.
It depends on what it is they're interacting with. You know, I've seen things where things shrink and go into people's bodies. That's not cute.
No.
Biology is not cute.
No, biology isn't cute. But just like tiny little friends interacting with the big world.
Yeah. I used to have a character. Believe it or not, I used to have a lot of characters. Who'd have thought?
Wow. Really?
I used to have a character. I did a little short film, a little 3D animated film, which wasn't very good. Just of this little shadow character. And I only ever ended up making the short film, but I wrote loads of things, and most of them were just like, hey, it's a little shadow, they live in your cupboard and they're interacting with the stuff in your cupboard.
Aww.
Yeah, and then that never went anywhere, but it's a thing that's there.
Sometimes it's fun to just make things.
Yeah.
Also, I've decided that this gentleman is just wearing a quilt.
Oh.
Good.
Like, he wants none of these shenanigans. He's just going to sit here in his comfy quilt in his house and be bitter.
Hiding from responsibilities in their duvet. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've had enough of your shit, and now they're just gonna sit here and be grumpy.
Yet. Are they hiding like a cup of cocoa under there?
Yes.
They're secretly kind of happy.
It's the only thing that's stopping them from
cocoa helps
snapping.
against the grump.
Yeah.
Like a little.
Yeah.
It's like somebody comes up to them and say, "Hey, I've concocted a little anti-grump potion," and hands them a cup of cocoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is
I
the
understand
anti-grump potion.
grumpy wizard. Ah, I love it.
I feel like we also now need this in something, or at least just this idea of just kind of like.
Yes.
Listen, these are all gonna be Project Maya characters. That's just what's gonna happen.
Fit them in.
We'll fit them in somewhere.
Project Veer is theoretically big enough to fit basically anything. So
Yeah, there are no rules. Except
I'm
for the
all-
ones that Chris made for himself.
yeah, but even then, I think I can fit Kajiro into my area, so we're good.
Yay! Kajiro.
Ah, slippers. Have to zoom out.
Oh, fun.
No,
You came to their house, you woke them up, and now you're making demands.
And they're not having it. How dare you? At least bring them hot chucky.
They kind of enjoy being mad.
Yeah,
Looks like
that's
they're
true.
like, yeah. Again, it's like a child, like they're kind of done being mad, but you can't know about it.
Yeah. It's performative at this point.
It's that don't talk to me until I've had my cup of coffee type people.
Oh, cocoa.
Hot chocolate. I want hot chocolate. I'm gonna have hot chocolate after the stream.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody get hot chocolate. If indeed you have hot chocolate and it agrees with you.
Mug.
Marshmallows
in it.
Marshmallows.
And we'll say it's being carried by
Magic. Ooh.
weird magical assistant.
Yeah.
Aww. A little blub.
Do we have a name for this? Let's look for our random generators, trying to find a name for this friend.
I got wisp mutant.
I have the outlandish lump.
The nasty presence.
The what? Sorry.
Nasty presence.
Oh, nasty! No, they got hot chocolate.
That's why like grumpy people keep calling them nasty.
No. It's like, oh, I know what it feels like, friend.
Yeah, I imagine this is just like a magical construct type thing the wizard made because it's like I don't want to deal with people, but also I need someone to like do the dishes because I don't like doing dishes.
And
Don't
this
do dishes when you're grumpy. Just get some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
This a little better.
Anyway, I love it.
I love it too.
The better phenomenon.
The phenomenon was probably something like a title that they got in like graduate school or something. Graduate school for wizards.
They got it when they were working on their PhD.
That's what the PH stands for.
Yeah, phenomenon. Phenomenon doctor. PhD.
You're a doctor of phenomena. What a title.
I mean, I'd put that on my CV.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Well, to complete the rota, Ragdoll, can you generate a prompt for moi?
All right.
Pour moi.
Let me just finish up this.
Oh, you're not done. My
That.
apologies. More bananas and
wizard
starfish.
Stars and moons. Which is what you always have to do as a wizard hat. Let's see. Oh, and of course, I've been on another page for a moment, so the thing refreshed as soon as I clicked on it. All right.
Oh.
Good thing I didn't have any that I was particularly attached to.
I think if you scroll down, it might keep all the names that you've generated up to that point. It did
well,
for
not
me
on this
anyway.
page, but that's okay. Because a really funny one is on this list.
Yay!
The aquatic flame sheep.
The aquatic flame sheep.
That's something.
My mind immediately thinks of sodium. Which I believe if you put it in water, it just bursts into flames. Okay.
They can put the kettle on. They can boil some water. Or wizard friend.
I mean, it doesn't say it has to be in the water. It's just aquatic. So it could have like flippers or something.
So I'm just like I've got to draw now. Oh god, drawing.
Turtle. Wet turtle. Is this a sheep?
I mean, it looks sort of like a sheep.
Aquatic sheep. Oh my god, is this a water dog?
It does look a bit like a
water doggo.
Okay, apparently we have learned that a dog is just a wet sheep.
I mean, the fun thing is, okay, so whenever it comes to sheep dogs, there's sort of two things. There's what you think of as sheep dogs, which are actually the herding dogs. And then there are sheep dogs, which are the protecting dogs. But the thing is, they do sort of look like the sheep.
They do.
Because the whole point is that they can sort of stay in the flock and they're calm and the sheep are calm, and then everything around them just doesn't. It just looks like another sheep. So like Wolf shows up to try and like attack the flock, and then it's like, oh, that's not a sheep.
Chris, are you okay?
I'm trying to work out how to do this good.
Did I guess too many animals? I'm sorry.
Because like no. I'm trying to work out how to. Because my first thought was just a sheep that's wet and on fire and looks sad about it. But I don't really know how to draw a sheep, so that's the problem.
I mean, sheep is just fluff with a head.
Yeah. And trotters. Little clip clops.
Yeah, there, and now give it a face. See, that's a sheep. You've made a sheep. Congrats.
It's just a
now it's
puffball.
on fire.
Oh, I mean, you could also do just the "this is fine" meme with a sheep instead of a dog.
And that's in the ocean. There you go. Easy peasy.
Just bopping around.
Too many undos. I don't know.
You can do like the. Oh, I
mean, do you want a different one?
I was just
Chris?
gonna
There's
say
some
a
other
thing,
good
and
ones
it doesn't even make sense in English.
Do you want a different one, Chris? Because there's some other.
No,
good ones
I'm
on
persevering. I'm gonna persevere with this.
Aquatic flame sheep it is.
I was gonna say do the seal approach, but that only works in Dutch because a seal in Dutch is literally translated to a sea hound or a sea dog. So
They are sea dogs.
yeah, so you know, just do a sheep but make it like a seal. But
They have a flame wig.
Majestic.
yeah.
This is giving me Pokemon vibes.
It's a bit Pokemon-y, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the most recent sheep Pokemon was just a sheep.
I mean, we had an electric sheep. Why not a fire sheep?
I mean, yeah.
That horn.
They had the electric sheep and they also had just a sheep.
Maybe too much.
So, is it a sheep and then the evolution is a sheep that's electric?
No, it's a different line.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
the most recent gen had a sheep where it's a sheep and it evolves into a bigger sheep with horns. But in Gen 2, you've got a little electric sheep that evolves and it's got less wool on it as it gets bigger.
It's losing his hair.
This is
It's ice type, it gets colder.
Most recent sheep Pokemon, which is just a sheep.
And also responsible for my most popular tweet.
Yeah, where's Wooloo?
Where's Wooloo? Where I just drew loads of Mareep and one Wooloo.
And here is the electric sheep, whom I love.
Mareep.
Mareep.
Aww. Someone put weights on that sheep. It's a Viking sheep.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a Viking Meowth in that game, so
Yeah, there is. I also just found this comic and I think it's very funny.
That's what I was kind of picturing. A sheep and then a sheep that got electrified. It's electrified.
Electrified. Electrified.
that's pretty
It's
good.
pretty slimy.
You better sheep up.
Aww.
What do I do? Do I do... My first thought was frog feet. It's gonna look a bit weird.
Yeah.
Listen, you might as
If
well.
we're in
You know?
Pokemon territory.
It's not like we want you to draw an anatomically accurate sheep. That's not what we're here for.
Then what are you here for?
For fun and shenanigans.
A realistic rendition of a sheep on fire.
With frog feet.
Is it a sheep or is there an sheep, more sheep? All the
No,
sheep
it's singular and plural. So yeah, sheep. One sheep, many sheep.
sounded
One
wrong to me.
One deer,
Yeah.
many deer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
More sheeps.
with
What up,
most
sheep?
English words that are like both singular and plural, my brain just gives up.
Yeah.
The plural is sheeple.
Also,
I mean, to be
happens
fair,
that when you have more sheep
we've
together, they turn into people. But that's just a coincidence.
to be fair, we've got some like weird rules about what words are singular and plural simultaneously. But part of that's because we just keep taking words from other languages that have different rules.
Yeah.
So that's why you have goose and geese, but it's not moose and meese because goose, geese, and moose are from totally different language families.
So what is the plural of moose?
The
Is it
plural of
moose?
moose is moose.
Oh, it's just moose.
Also, if there's more than one moose, you have other problems than trying to figure out what the plural of moose is.
I mean, yes, but I am far away from any mooses. Mooses. Moses.
What?
Don't worry about me, I'm just doing more sacrilege.
And lo, did Moses pass... what's the word? Part, that's the word I'm looking for. And lo, did Moses part the red sheep. That would have been a joke if I did it right first time.
I'm not even gonna say it. I have a weird mind today.
We all have a weird mind today. And I mean, definitely me.
Oh my god, if those were lips, it's going. Mm.
Little goatee.
Oh, I love it.
So
It's on
majestic.
fire.
Don't worry about it. Just happens to be on fire.
It's not supposed to be on fire, but...
I mean, this definitely is like a cryptid somewhere.
Ooh, cryptid Pokemon.
Just this, like, just the idea of like an aquatic sheep, but also it is on fire just sounds like something.
Yeah.
Like, local legend kind of thing.
I like the idea of like something being like, unnatural or kind of cryptid or something like that, but like people get the thing that's unnatural about it wrong. So like, oh yeah, we've got this amazing flaming sheep that sort of, it's just always on fire. And the phenomenal thing about it isn't that it's always on fire, it's that it's immortal. But no one's tried to put it out. So they just assume that it's just always on fire. So, oh, the magical, amazing, flaming sheep. And the sheep's there like, put me out.
No.
It got darker than I thought.
I mean, I'm also sort of reminded of like when people from the UK were trying to describe what platypuses looked like, and everyone was just kind of like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you made
Why
that up.
would a mole have a duck bill?
Why would a
Sort of
mole
thing.
have a star nose?
The taxidermist's joke, they thought.
So, like, someone's trying to describe this flaming sheep with frog feet, and everyone's just kind of like, what are you smoking?
I mean, at the same time, there were quite a lot of things like that people described beforehand. There was like, oh yes, there's sheep. What was it in the Middle Ages? There was the belief that sheep grew on plants like cotton. They thought like the cotton plant actually made sheep.
I mean, it's also just in general, like things like animals drawn on description can get really weird when because it's like I believe I've seen like medieval drawings of like what a giraffe was supposed to look like, and
it's amazing.
The original,
yes, technically it's correct based on a description of a giraffe, but also what the fuck is this?
It doesn't help the original name for the giraffe in English was the cameleopard or camel leopard, which is like, you can kind of see how they got that name, but it's misleading.
Yeah,
it doesn't mention the long neck at all, really. Like, camels have long necks, not that long.
Nope.
Also, this is what they've been smoking, because this is on fire.
It really doesn't want to be.
To me, it looks like it's a fashion sheep that's on fire.
Oops.
And they know it.
I'm flaming.
You're on fire, baby. No, really, where's the fire extinguisher? Someone get some water.
Exactly. And both. You with your shading.
I want this to look like fire, so I have to do something.
No, you don't have to.
Good.
I have to.
Now it's a black sheep.
Ooh, the bottom half is cold and the top part is fire.
Oh.
Or if we want to go dark again, it wasn't. The bottom half wasn't dark to begin with.
No.
It just happened.
It's
That just
also
happened
good.
over time.
Shush.
Aww. Good snoot.
Yeah.
It really looks like a fashion sheep. It looks like it's wearing it.
Yeah. Fashion
And your
sheep.
fashion is so much on fire, you're wearing fire.
I do feel like I probably peaked with the fluff ball that was in a lake that was on fire.
And was bobbing around.
Should have just stuck with that, to be honest.
It was so cute. Just draw it again real quick. Took like what, 30 seconds?
Well, yeah, but
Cotton ball in the water.
I really like this fashion sheep.
Yeah, but you can draw both. That's allowed. It's his cousin, who is also a flaming sheep on fire. It's so cute.
I want to see an animation of it. It kind of also like looks like a not a swimming cap, but you know, to protect your hair in the shower. Those things.
Shower cap.
Shower cap.
I love it. Just a little face. Just, this is fine. I am
Give it a
fine.
couple
I don't need
little-
help.
Couple little hanging down ears, and then it'll look really sheepy.
It's really a grumpy character's dream.
Turns out all mythical
just
creatures, they're
love
just
dogs.
grumpy.
I mean, I would probably be at least grumpy if I was on fire.
I mean,
Yeah.
was Pain Freak grumpy? I think it was more just chaotic.
Yeah.
It's
Not
probably the reason why everyone's grumpy.
You can circle back grumpy to them.
No, Tane Freak's here again. Who invited Tane Freak? No one. Nobody, of course.
No, he's just here. He
You
heard about
invited-
it. He scuttled over on his 2 arms. And he's here to stay. I mean, you know, he's gonna eat all your food. And be real messy about it. They're so shiny.
Nah, I'm just trying to indicate that there's light coming off this thing. It's not working. Anyway, that's the aquatic flame sheep, apparently.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yes.
We move to Christi,
Yes.
who is getting a prompt from Chib.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if we're going the other direction now.
Yep.
Just realized a chip prompt is a chomped.
Chomped.
Jumped.
Chomp, 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 chomp.
Okay, I like this one. Dust Hound.
Ooh.
Best hound.
Ooh.
I'm going to goose. And I just accidentally pooped my own doggo in the snoot.
No.
So is it a hound that looks like it's made of dust, or is it a hound that lives in a dusty area?
It takes dust baths.
It's just it's a hound that lives in a dusty area. It also happens to be very hairy, and the owner is always annoyed at how difficult it is to clean.
See, I was thinking, so over here, you've got phrases like the dusty plains, where you're talking about sort of like a dry desert area. And we do have canids that live in desert
Wait,
areas.
it's just a coyote?
Yeah, it's just a coyote now.
That's it.
It's a fantasy coyote.
No, this is just what they call them there. Well, they had the word coyote. It was just dust hound.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could absolutely, like, make me believe that they call coyotes dust hounds in Arizona or something like that.
Or we make some weird fantasy universe where it's like, well, we don't want to use the actual real world name for it, so we're going to call it something fancy.
Yeah, but it's definitely a coyote.
I mean, or you could go the route of it's a dust bunny except dog instead of bunny.
I know it's annoying for anybody who's been talking to me for the past 2 weeks, but I'm gonna talk about Elden Ring again.
Chris!
There is a dusty area in Elden Ring and it has dogs in it. And I want to share it because it backs up my point of this game being a lot goofier than the previous ones. I'm gonna put a picture in the Discord so there's no spoilers on stream. Gotta find what they're called.
Sounds, probably. They have little footprints. Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Dirty footprints.
Dirty footprints.
Don't worry, I'm talking about Elden Ring. I'm sorry. Blah blah blah. Creatures.
That's how you drew the footprints in before any dog has been drawn.
Yeah,
It's invisible.
it's not stalling.
I haven't gotten to this yet, but apparently there's an enemy or an NPC or something in this area of the game called the Prawn Miner. I don't know what that means.
Well, I mean, it sounds pretty obvious what that means.
Going down into the prawn mines. I don't know why I put that accent on. They called it a shrimp, but whatever.
Collect some prawn. In the prawn mine.
In the prawn mine.
What do you mean you don't mind for prawns? Minerals, rocks. No, only prawns.
No, that's not it.
Sounds like a very silly NPC. The prawn mines are just the ocean.
God, trying to mine prawns. That'd be
No, well, there's no reference to these things anywhere. Internet.
I mean, you'd think if it's like a dog, the internet would be all over that already. And have made a mod that will allow you to pet them.
Pet the dog.
Because you must pet the dog.
No, there are no pictures. Oh, I've just looked down. The eyes. They peer. I should specify my drawing tablet is below my main one.
You probably should. Because otherwise you just say you look down and it doesn't make any sense.
I look down and oh my god, feet!
The floor? Who would have guessed?
Nobody told me that was there.
I mean, you could be upside down for all we know.
Look down and oh no, the ceiling.
So I've given up. I haven't given up. I'm still trying. I'm just annoyed that there's no reference to these things.
I mean, clearly you just need to look up the word dust hound.
Is that it? No, that's not it. There's too many things in this game.
Well, that's what happens when you have a large open world game. Or
I mean, to be fair, a lot of it is borrowed from previous games. They're like, well, we've got all these assets. It's a shame not to use them.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Better than sort of what they did in Breath of the Wild, where it's like we have 4 enemies and everything else is a recolor of those 4 enemies.
I mean, that happens as well. There is definitely the one complaint I was sort of having about Elden Ring. Well, several complaints, but they're less about Elden Ring and more about the fact that open world games just aren't for me. Is that very little in the game so far seems special. There are so many things at the beginning of the game I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then like 10 hours later I fought 3 more of them and I'm like, oh, this is just a thing apparently. And it's like, you can do that for effect. Like in Dark Souls, you've got like, oh, you fight the camper demon. And it's like, oh, this is a significant thing. And then eventually you get to the demon ruins, you're like, oh god, there are loads of them. So that was just one and it escaped. But in Elden Ring, it's just like, well, we got to have a lot of bosses. So we'll just take this one and then copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste.
Jacob apparently ran into a thing where he fought a dude and it was like really, really difficult. So he kept just going back and going back. He kept dying. So he kept going back to try and beat it, going back and trying to beat it. And it's like, oh, surely this is like some sort of mini boss. And then it turned out it was just a guy. Just a random monster. Nothing special.
Chris, is what I assume not, but even if it isn't, I'm gonna ask for an explanation as the only person I know that is in this call that knows about all of them. The fuck is up with the Tyrannosaurus dog?
That might be it actually. That sounds good. That sounds like a good name.
Christi, this is adorable.
Thank you.
I am reminded. God, what does this remind? Well, one, this reminds me sort of the little soot creatures from Spirited Away. But 2, there's God, this dog face does on a blob does remind me of something, but I can't place in my brain what it's reminding me of.
Maybe I should do T-Rex dog. Is that better? No, there's no good pictures in the world. Oh, hang on, that might help. I wasn't searching the world. I was searching the UK for some reason.
Well, no wonder you weren't getting good pictures.
The pictures are no different. Only people in the UK are playing Elden Ring, apparently. Anyway, okay, so this is the best picture I could find. But I think it is what Chibi is referring to.
Whatever it is, it can't be as friendly looking as this.
It's not as friendly looking as this friend. Look at him go!
Look at the little puppy. Christi, little puppy, so cute.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Just running around the house, moving dust everywhere.
Yeah. Little dust puppy has the zoomies.
The more dust,
and
the
now
more
you
zoom.
have to clean.
Yeah. This happens just after you hoover.
Mm-hmm. They can't
Oh
stand
God,
a clean environment.
go around, vacuum up the entire house, open up the vacuum, and then this thing just pops out of the vacuum.
This just happens. If you have too much in the bag, this just pops out. Yeah.
It's just what's gonna happen. Now you have a pet. Congratulations.
And now you have to clean again.
Yeah. So yeah, I found a not very good picture of the dog I was talking about in Elden Ring and stuck it in Discord.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with
They're scary. I haven't killed one yet.
Yeah. No wonder.
They're huge and weird. Anyway, point being, look at the proportions on that thing. This is not a serious game.
No. Its head is massive.
Yeah, it's got a bobblehead.
It sure has.
And there's also crows that have the same sort of thing.
Oh, Ragdoll's gone.
Oh no!
You were talking about Elden Ring too much.
They were attacked by a Tyrannosaurus dog.
Oh no. That's worse.
Ragdoll! Ah, you're back! Or not. Hello?
I'm back.
Yay!
Decided to just sort of blip. Which caused everything else to blip.
No blips.
But what's funny is, since the only things that are really up on my screen right now are Discord and then web browser, basically the whole thing just sort of went blip. So it's like, why is the screen black? Oh. This is a very good dog.
Yeah.
So cute. And
Don't really know
it's
how
going so fast.
It's going so fast. I don't really know how to do Dusty other than spots and squiggles.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
dust, like, without a specific brush to do lots and lots of little dots. We're not gonna force you to sit here and draw
This is
thousands
fine.
and thousands of tiny. You have to do this in a pointillist style.
Oh no.
Oh, I've done that. Takes a while.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you sort of saw with my bitter wizard, I just drew a very simple, let's make this look like a quilt instead of like an actual quilt design.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anyone will hold it against you for just making a sketch. We don't all have to.
Dog.
Yeah, dust doggy.
Dust dog.
A dust hound.
Dustund.
This is what happens when you don't clean up your magical towers and then you do the vacuuming all at once.
Not a reason why the phenomenon is bitter.
Yeah. They put off their cleaning for so long, 2 dust hounds appeared.
Now there's 2 dust hounds running around and making more dust.
Yeah.
And they can't get their, summon to clean it up because their summon is made out of goop. Now you have goop dust, and that's worse.
Their summon is a candle. And it's just being miserable
Very
in a corner.
Yeah.
God, are these all just going to be the same wizard tower?
Yes.
Like the bitter phenomenon just has all of these weird things living in its town for one reason or another, probably because of it trying to fix other people's shenanigans, and then he's just kind of like, you know what, I quit. I quit. I'm done. I don't need any more of these weird magic beasts hanging around. Go away, shoot.
I do like the idea of a kind of like magical handyman sort of thing where it's like just people have magical problems and they go to the person and it's like, I don't know how to fix this.
Yeah.
Just a kind of magical generalist, like.
Yeah. But I also just love the idea of just a wizard that retires.
Yeah.
Just the magic user that retired. That was just kind of like, no, we're not gonna do this.
I don't have to. I don't want to. You can't make me. I'm retired.
No, I cannot make your crops prosper. I have 2 dust hounds running around my house. And we're not gonna do this today. I am gonna sit here and get my servant to make me some hot chocolate, and you can leave and find another wizard for your problems.
This is very Jennifer from Witcher. Because of course.
Yeah.
We still need to do a stream of Christi complaining about The Witcher.
Yeah.
We do.
Okay, I'm done.
Hey, Dust Hound.
That's found. It's just a dirty dog.
Yeah, but it's made of dirt.
Yeah, it's made of dirt, and that's the problem.
It's whoosh. Right, Ragdoll, did you make a prompt for Chib?
Oh god, who's ready for another half hour of me drawing?
All right, let's see.
Your prompt is, draw that.
Well, I guess to go along with our bitter wizard, we have the false witch.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Which the fault? That's just
They
a
fake
normal
their
woman.
qualifications.
Yeah.
Oh, they claim to be a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
They're trying really hard to get into witch school, and it hasn't worked yet.
Oh no, I had a character like this.
Expect to cute and grump. Today is cute and one unsettling. But also
Hey, you! How dare you? How dare you insult the good name of the aquatic flaming sheep?
unsettlingly cute. Is this a gobble?
Oh, hang on, I forgot to change the name
It's
of the
gonna
thing.
be, but I mean, the Goblin Witch is fun, so.
It would be
There's
sort
gonna
of fun.
be a Goblin Witch now.
God, I'm now. So there's a web comic. I
woblin.
don't know if it's still going. I don't even remember what it was called. Goblin Story, something like that. Basically, it's like a D&D type setting, but it's comedy as well as serious stuff. So they're sort of playing with the things. So the main characters are all goblins living in a goblin village, and after some heroes come in and mess
I'm a
up some stuff, but don't
goblin
quite get the treasure, quote unquote, that they're protecting. Some of the goblins decide, right, this is enough. Guess what? I'm a warrior now. You're a thief. You're a paladin. And they just decide to become adventurers, and it works.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Like there's some it gets sort of dark and gruesome, and there's like some other stuff with it, but like the entire premise of like goblins decide, you know what, we're sick of being we're sick of being just the level 1 mission for new adventurers. We're going to be adventurers ourselves and go deal with the humans.
I was gonna say, is this PAL?
Well, it is a fake
No,
witch.
it's fine now. It's different. There's hair at the sides. We're good.
Yeah, it's not PAL. I know I draw all my goblins the same, but still.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I don't
Parsley and
lie.
Ra don't look anything like PAL or each other.
And they're hobgoblins.
Well, goblins in the name.
I mean, they've got you there though, Chris.
How dare.
Oh,
Ooh.
these shapes are so good.
Chib does good shapes.
Good shapes.
Patched together. That's cute.
They made it themselves.
No, it's got a hole in it.
They tried their best, okay? They stole it from the actual witch.
It was an old windsock. They put a frisbee, stuck a frisbee on it. That's now a hat.
So specific.
See, and the fun thing is, I know that the monster generator has like the false thing in there as like, oh, it's a like mimicry type thing. Oh, you've been deceived, and it's like, no, instead of being like, oh, this is a deception thing, it's like, no, this is just
They really
this
want
is
to be.
just a cosplay.
They want to
They
be
really
a
want to
witch.
be a witch. They're gonna be a witch when they grow up. They're gonna go and learn from the phenomenon himself, itself, themself. No one knows what gender the phenomenon is.
Is
No one has
it one
seen
of
the
those?
phenomenon's face.
Is it one of those things where this character was supposed to be taught by the phenomenon, but the phenomenon just said, "No, I'm retired." It's like, and they're just still
Probably.
waiting. They're like, "Oh, I can't wait to start."
I mean,
So
yeah.
I don't know if it's
annoying,
funnier
not those nephew.
for someone to have seriously said, "Oh yes, you're going to go study under the phenomenon," or if it was yes,
Yeah.
you're so full
Aw.
of so much potential. We'll make sure you study under the best. I'm sure the phenomenon will take you, knowing full well that they won't.
Yeah.
I think it was like a case of they learned about the phenomenon and then they were like, they are gonna teach me. I choose this one.
They saw a
Yet
poster
another
and
nuisance for the
Bam.
phenomenon to deal with.
There's like Rambunction's like teen goblin that just wants to learn magic showed up at their door at like
Just
2 a.m. in the night.
yeah. She's got I found this twig. It looks like a wand.
Teach me.
Aw.
This mushroom's glowing, kinda. What is it?
Chop. Shit. Why are all of these so adorable?
Well, because whenever we're just sort of left to our own devices, we go to one of two ways. We either go, "Oh, that's cute," or we go, "Oh, that's horrifying." Sometimes both.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like Dark was asking about. You know, what tone does Project Via have? What are we going for with that? Like, are we going sort of like Dark Souls, sort of the horrible, or are we going something whimsical? And I basically said, hey, look, have you ever played a Zelda game? Like, there's usually some cute, happy, fun time places, and then you go down, and then there's a horrible zombie, which is just the worst thing you've ever seen. There's horrifying noises. It's like that. Why not all? Why not everything? We will do all, whether we want to or not.
Yeah, you've got the taint fiend living in the basement because the phenomenon does not want to deal with that. Just like
That
it can just
also
stay
just
there for
showed
all
up
I
one
care.
day.
The
Oh, that's a
basement is
roommate.
theirs now. I don't use it anyway.
As
flat
long as they
share.
pay rent, it's fine.
I love this universe. Oh, they're starry-eyed.
Well, I guess my region is now going to be a wizard's tower, and we're just going to incorporate all of this into that.
I can be bigger than that. Be a big old place with a wizard's tower in it.
I
Or
mean,
a
who's to say that the
massive
big
tower.
old place isn't in the wizard's tower?
Ooh, see? I like your thinking.
It's the expandable purse or TARDIS.
Yeah, and this is why the phenomenon doesn't care that there's a horrible half-made monster living in the basement, because to be perfectly honest, they never use the basement. That's only one of the basements. There's another basement that's also perfectly usable.
Yeah.
It's the basement, it's the basement.
It was a tiny flat when they bought it, but then they just expanded it from the inside. with magic. And every time the landlord comes round, they have to shrink it again to make, because it's not in the lease contract that they can make it bigger.
The house is ever expanding on its own, and you never know when there's a new room.
That's an SCP, I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen that door before.
Oh no, that sentence alone, that's now a kids show, kids TV show. I've never seen that door. Let's see what's behind this door.
It's once again, it's the one of two ways: cute or horrible.
Behind this door. Oh, it's full of dust hounds. Look at them go. What's behind this door? Oh, don't look there. Don't look there.
Close the door. Close the door.
Close the door. I forgot this was the Taint Fiend's private time.
No! Don't imply that he does anything in his private time.
Oh.
Okay, but calling it private time also implies that he has visitors sometimes, and I don't like that thought either.
It less has visitors and more doesn't constantly interrupt the phenomenon.
He just makes horrible noises, and then every time the phenomenon like goes quiet to go like, what's that sound? It just it shuts up, and every time it's like driving him insane. I can't communicate what I mean. I'm sorry.
It's fine. This is not a straightforward narrative.
Oh God, if the phenomenon is leasing the place and the Taint Fiend is leasing the basement of the place, does that mean he's subletting?
Yeah.
Is subletting something that he can do in his housing contracts?
No.
Also,
and that's an issue.
Who took a bite out of this book?
Don't worry about it.
Same person who took a bite out of the hat.
Witchcraft for dummies. Oh.
God, this is cute.
That's too cute.
We need to save all of these pictures and put them in the Discord so that we remember them later.
Yeah.
They were born with star pupils, and that's how they thought they were going to become the magical.
I was hiding in your chrysanthemums all day, waiting to knock on your door.
I may have ate some. Sorry. Were they magical?
I feel magical. Oh. It kind of looks like the pointing I was hiding right over there.
I mean, yeah, they were.
I love them so much.
And I found like a cool stick.
The sentence, I found a cool stick, is just awesome.
To be fair, I do have a cool stick. I remember when I was a kid, we had a little fancy dress thing at school. I was like, come as something from a film you like. And I went as Gandalf. And I wanted a staff. Yes. So we went out to the woods and tried to find a really cool stick. And I still have it. I still have my really cool stick.
Good.
Trying to find a really cool stick. That's an adventure.
Yeah, we do that sometimes when we're hiking. It's like, oh, here's a nice tree limb. Take that, whittle it, make a walking stick.
I mean, this is big.
Now you're a wizard.
Is there anything more wholesome than just people? Everyone has tried to just find a really cool stick.
Yeah, stick's cool.
Yeah.
Get a cool stick.
I mean,
Project
I
project
all
for
the
the
time
week.
in the garden, like, this stick is too cool. I have to take it inside.
This project for the next week. My next stream, bring your cool stick. Everyone go and get a cool stick.
Now it's a
You know.
really cool stick. Oh my god, because are they actually gonna make it magical so that little what's it called? The little outy pointy branchy thingy that would have been a branch on that. You know.
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't know what it'd be called. Sprout?
Little bud.
Bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could turn into a flower sometimes.
Aw. And then it's really magical.
Yeah. And they're like, oh my god, real magic.
Of course, the question now is it going to turn out that the false witch does actually have magic powers, or is it going to be a finding your own skills type thing?
But it wouldn't be false otherwise, would it? Like I like the, you know, the Pixar route of you know, it started off thinking, oh, they're not actually magical, but no, they had a particular magical power. But they are called the False Witch, so. Also, Kiro has a quarterstaff.
Of course, Kira has a quarterstaff.
Oh.
So that's Kiro's cool stick.
That is the coolest stick.
It's a stick that you can whack people with.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can whack people with any sort of stick, but this is a stick made specifically for whacking people.
Specifically.
Oh, okay. It's a traditional European pole weapon.
Yeah, polo.
Sure.
It's a stick, basically. It's a big old stick that you whack people with.
Yeah, it's just a stick.
It's a whacking stick.
Calling it an ancient weapon might be a bit much.
No, it's an
I mean, to be
ancient
fair,
weapon.
you can't just use any stick for a quarterstaff. It's got to be something where if you whack someone with it, it's not going to just immediately snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to have some elasticity.
But like, when did it go from just being a stick to being a recognized weapon?
When
did it become
when Renaissance fairs became a thing.
Ah. Did they roll in the mud with the dirt hound?
Maybe.
Guess who let the dust hounds in?
Aww.
I mean, they're a goblin. They don't see like the problem with those sounds. Probably, they're just like, "Ooh, dog."
Doggy. With the wizard, I found a dog outside and and they were all inside.
Oops.
It's magic,
No,
right?
I had Coco. I also didn't mean to diss the quarterstaff.
Now you can diss the
No,
quarterstaff.
you have offended Kiro. Forevermore.
They're wearing
A little belt on their arm.
I used to do something like that when I was a kid. I thought it was so cool. I went to school with it.
Listen, you gotta, okay?
Yeah. Express yourself.
I mean, they're also goblins, so they were like, "What?
I'm not a goblin. I don't have an excuse.
No, you do. You're also a goblin. But yeah,
Right.
they probably were like, what do witches wear? Dress? Layers. Hats. Hat is important. I need a big stick. I found a book. Don't worry about the bite part.
Didn't
I'm
taste
sure
good.
there's nothing important.
They tried to take a bite out of everything to see what part was edible.
It's how they test if things are magic.
They can't read, so they think that if they just eat the book, it'll work.
Yeah, they're
I
always
just the
like,
magic.
you gotta consume knowledge, so
Yeah.
clearly means eating the book. Just how that works,
Oh my god, all of the little misunderstandings, I can just imagine. And you can't be mad at them.
Okay,
No.
Kiro also has a replica of a gunblade. So I feel like if you don't think a quarterstaff is a weapon, a gunblade is 2. So on average, they're both weapons. On average, Kiro has 2 weapons.
You
But
don't
on
like my
average,
weapon? Well,
it's very
I'll
top
give you
heavy. I
one.
can imagine it's a sword with a gun handle.
You have to really work out your underarm muscles.
Yeah, you can get carpal tunnel from that if you hold it up for too long. It's gonna mess with the wrist. Yeah, cape.
This is the false witch.
Hey.
They're amazing.
They're eager to learn
Their
something.
ego is just.
They won't learn, but they're eager to.
Yeah.
They'll learn something else.
Probably, maybe.
On the
Not a
way.
guarantee.
It's going to be one of those things where during each lesson, it's less that the false witch learns something and more that the phenomenon relearns something.
Yeah.
We're going to open up. We're going to open up their hearts.
Yeah.
No, they become more grumpy.
They
Possibly
learn.
that too.
Yeah.
They learn a new way to keep the false witch away.
They
A new
keep
way.
trying to fortify the tower, but they keep just.
They'll keep
appearing.
finding a new way in.
The goblin blood.
Yeah. Marvelous.
They end up having a beautiful relationship.
And by beautiful, we mean she drew it on a piece of paper and crayon to show these we are friends. Look, I drew a picture of us.
And then she herself stuck it onto the communal fridge.
The communal village fridge in the middle of town.
The phenomenon just wakes up one day, goes to the fridge, is like, "What's that?" Taint, did you put that there? Just screaming in the distance.
Yeah.
Right, yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tower is expanding.
Okay. Ragdoll.
So what else are we adding to the tower?
Would you like a simple one or a not simple one?
Let's go for the simple one.
Simple one? Okie dokie. Can you draw crypt thing? All one word.
Downstairs with the taint.
Crypt thing.
Yeah, this is also living in the basement.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just imagining that where it's just kind of like a vampire situation where we've got like coffin.
If it's a vampire, that'd be extra funny because They
I mean, I don't know if it's
definitely
like a
don't
vampire
want.
vampire. It might be like a ghoul type thing, but it just sort of
Maybe.
lives
It's a
in
crypt
here.
thing.
I just think of like crypt thing, but it's like the proper like roommate, and I don't want a room with the fucking taint freak. Because why would you?
I'll live in the basement.
There's a basement under the basement. I'll stay there. There's only this place for a coffin there. That's fine.
There isn't a basement under the basement. There's like the underfloor heating section. Is that what you mean? Yes. So yeah, I just like to as bonus features. One that you could have had was the Madman, which I think is fun. Or the complicated one, which you could have picked, was the monstrous skeleton Leviathan.
Jesus Christ.
Which I would have loved to watch somebody draw on a stream.
that takes at least 6 hours to make.
Yeah.
Skeleton Leviathan. Jesus
The
Christ.
monstrous skeleton Leviathan.
It would be easier to draw a monster, a skeleton, and a Leviathan
Yeah.
next to each other.
And that's the name of their band.
Because they're very original.
I'm picturing the taint freak and what was this one?
The crypt thing.
Crypt thing.
All one word. Crypt thing.
Coffin. Crypt thing.
Crypt thing.
I'm thinking of like an odd pair, like the taint freak clogged up the toilet somehow again, and
Don't ask how.
like just shouts at each other, like just having a chaotic time.
Yeah.
What we're learning is that the taint freak causes at least 90% of the chaos in this tower.
Yes.
No. You've already forgotten about the false witch.
Yeah, that's
half and half.
Half and half,
very different types of chaos.
Yeah.
Cursed chaos and wholesome chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the false witch probably also has some cursed chaos, but with wholesome intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not cursed, it's literally cursed chaos. They accidentally cursed the cat.
I did have a cat one. What was that? Let's go.
Like the cursed witch accidentally let out like a cursed cat in a bottle or something. Oh no.
Okay, I just refreshed to try and get a cat one, and I got acid pour. So I imagine now whatever the cat touches just sort of melts.
Oh, acid pour.
which is going to be an absolute nuisance in the library, let me tell you.
It's not a bite out of the book, it's a paw mark.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was pawing at the book.
And now part of the book's gone.
It's a very curious cat.
It really wants to learn, but the books just keep disappearing under its paws.
Yeah. They keep disappearing mysteriously, and they don't know why. What do you mean it's their fault? No, it isn't.
They're a cat. They're not good with understanding consequences.
When we started this,
cat, so therefore they are innocent by default.
I mean, it's a cat. I'd assume that means they're a criminal by default.
I mean, yes, but in their eyes, they're innocent by default. They are definitely a criminal. They have a long list of felonies standing out. They are wanted by the law.
Getting so chaotic.
Somehow the cat is the only inhabitant of the tower that is wanted by the law.
It gets around the most, leaving carnage behind.
Exactly.
by just wandering around the village or town or whatever, and just all over with its paws. You just see a trail of destruction.
It was put in prison. They just got through the bars real easy.
Yeah. I mean, that's also one reason why they're wanted. They escaped prison.
As you do.
They were arrested and then they escaped because it's a cat made out of acid. Or
Yeah.
and they just walk out, and then everyone was like, "Oh no, jailbreak!"
See, now this is sort of delving into SCP territory. How do you contain this thing?
You don't.
You don't. You have to.
You don't is the answer.
It just has chosen the tower as its home. Very unfortunately for bitter phenomenon.
Yeah. At the start of this, I didn't really, sympathize very much with the bitter phenomenon, but now I get it.
Yeah. It just
the more we go into
worse
this,
and worse for bitter phenomenon. So now you're like, yeah.
Originally, it was just like the weight of expectations on them. Now it's just like everything.
Yeah.
They really deserve that hot chocolate.
They just they don't even keep inviting people to their home. I don't think they invited a single person who's here.
They welded the door shut. People can somehow come in.
Well, because of the acid cap.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
He's making holes in the
can
wall.
Definitely pick locks. And also, you don't stop taint free. You can't.
I like the... How did you get in? I can pick locks. I welded the door shut. I'm very good at picking locks.
Oh God, there's one sketch where it's like, who are you and how did you get in here? I'm a locksmith and I'm a locksmith.
Yeah.
It turns out after like 100 episodes that the cat is the big witches. Oh, you found my cat.
God, this poor wizard.
Do they have a headache?
I mean, would you?
Yeah.
If you had to deal with these sorts of roommates?
They live under taint freak. It's gonna be a thing.
Oh God, living under taint freak. Oh God, it's gonna so much just sort of hand banging and.
You constantly like. It's not even footsteps because footsteps would be normal and fine. It's fucking hand slaps walking across a floor.
It's just worse. Also going to London behind it.
Do you know what it is? Just before this stream, a bunch of pigeons just went on my roof and decided to have a race across it. It's like that.
I mean, and then also just like occasional screaming. Just, for fun.
And it is just for fun. It's not suffering. It's
No.
just like screaming.
Yeah. He's taint freak, not taint sufferer.
Oh, I cannot make this hand look right.
That's okay, we get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just...
Elbow.
Welcome to hands.
It's also getting the arm.
Welcome to
this
arms.
Is me an hour of every sketch. With every limb. An hour a limb.
See, I got away with not having any limbs with Bitter Phenomenon because I just kind of went, they've just got quilt.
Large blankets.
Like just, and I imagine that's just going to be how Bitter Phenomenon is. It's just like anytime you see them, they're just covered in a different quilt. Like the most you see are eyeballs.
It's gonna be filled every single day. Sometimes every single nap. New nap, new quilt.
That's better.
My brain is already concocting like an illustration of just all the chaos going on around the phenomenon.
Yeah, this
It's
is a
another-
good world.
Save it for when you have to do something for Project Via. Because
I mean, I would be
this is
perfectly willing to offer up anything that I've drawn in here. Like I like this tower. Let's make this tower.
This tower is fun.
This turns out this was a Project Via warm-up stream.
Yeah, it turns out. We didn't know it beforehand, but
I could see like a kind of what's it called? Not geometric, isometric illustration, a really tall illustration of the tower and everything that's going on inside.
Yeah.
just the different floors with all the chaos happening.
Yeah.
This guy's just the Ragdoll's drawing right now is just in his coffin doing exactly this while the Saint Frick is just running around above his head.
Running around in circles precisely above him.
Yeah. They are doing this on purpose. If you're asking, is the Saint Frick doing this on purpose, or are they just doing something and they happen to annoy me? The answer is always they are doing this on purpose.
Yeah. They give them the benefit of the doubt because they're a monster and like they don't know any better. They don't know what they're doing. But
Yeah.
oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Like, to outsiders, it's unclear how aware of anything the Saint Frick is, but
Yes.
it's aware.
I mean,
It's aware and just an asshole.
they they are leasing this place.
They don't know that.
Like as you know, in day to day they do come across as a mindless monster, but they have a credit score. Like
They go
Yeah.
to the closet and grab like the other half of their body and shoot and go to the bank. Come back and be a mindless monster.
I love the implication that they can just have a lower bodies lying around somewhere. And they're just like, oh, guess it's time for business, and they screw it off and then they just walk out.
I mean,
got-
it's
they've got
like
a-
you come home and you like take off your business suit. He comes home and takes off his business legs.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like what everyone like on the internet always says of like I come home and I take off my pants and then I sit around for the rest of the day. But for him it's just I come home, I take off my legs.
Yeah.
And I
You know how
scream all.
tiring it is running an entire body? No! I need more energy for screaming!
Yeah, only half the body, only half the like energy needed to run it.
Yeah.
So now they can stay up all night. And just take a power
Really?
nap and then they go out again.
No
And
digestive system, no food coma. They are really not having a good time.
Oh, I just
well, they were taking their beauty sleep, and now Tate Freak is back at the
Yeah.
house.
I missed Kiro posted a picture of the gunblade in the holster. Imagine having that around your waist.
Oh no.
Now here's the question behind that. Is that a pole, is that a quarterstaff, or is that a curtain pole? You decide. 10-year-old me would have said they're the same thing.
And 10-year-old you was right.
Curtain pole can surely hit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, imagine some
So
like
tired.
chandelier type candles.
But I'm
It
just
is, yeah.
imagining the room is as big as this canvas. The only thing they've managed to like cramp in there is the coffin and the
Yeah.
candles. Those were a must. The rest is like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's cheap rent. It really must be.
And now Tane Freak has floor heating.
I mean, it's probably a very nice coffin, at least.
Yeah, it is. Like, I imagine it's like a very like grand, beautiful, like marble coffin. Or tomb, or crypt, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
It's
much
actually
nicer than
the
to be.
tower's crypt he's leased.
Don't say sorry for the mess, Kiro. You haven't seen Taint things, Taint Freaks.
You don't want to see Tane Freak's like room. It's a mess, and there's also just half a body lying in there. His
And
body.
this is why the bitter phenomenon is bitter.
Yeah.
Tane Freak
Yes,
is
keep
just
dealing
the
with things like
worst
Tane Freak.
tenant.
This is kind of an IT crowd kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, vampire that just lives in the IT room. Goth.
Okay, well, I think this works for now for the...
Yeah, we get the idea.
Crypt thing. Sorry, crypt thing.
Crypt thing.
Good thing.
We're having a bad time. They
Well,
want to move up in the tower, please. As far away from Tane Freak as possible.
To which the phenomenon replies, "Don't we all?" Right.
It's just a constant argument of have you tried living below Tane Freak and then just have you tried living above Tane Freak?
We just agree that living near Taint Freak is the problem.
at some point, someone
He bangs down, but he screams up.
like, "Why don't you move?" And then, like, the episode ends or something.
They signed a contract.
Yeah. Like, the Cryptling signed a contract and the phenomenon is just like, this is my house.
I'm sorry,
You've seen the cost of rent in the rest of the area.
The Christi,
Yes.
can you get me a prompt?
Yeah. I like this one. The Lone Mumbler.
The Lone Mumbler.
Yeah.
That's me, right?
Also, we haven't worked a sheep into it yet. Into the tower.
She's just constantly running round and round the thing.
Boat.
There's a lake round the back and there's grass round the front and it's just doing circles.
I mean, it could also be the case that the false witch also let the sheep into the house, and the phenomena is just kind of like, no!
Don't bring a sheep on it, but it's a magic sheep, it's on fire!
Exactly, it's on fire!
That's not even the magic about it, it's just on fire! But...
They throw it out the window and it lands in the lake and the fire doesn't go out. And he's like, oh, it is magical. These are shapes.
People just get like they bring in more people and it's like their one argument for like people living in the tower is like, would they be a worse or less like a worse or better housemate than Tane Freak? And it's like, fair point, okay, they can stay. Or not even they can stay, but it's like nobody can stay.
But they do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure Bitter Phenomenon would enjoy it if they'd all just leave.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait to see some good mumbling.
Hmm.
Mhm.
This is already very shape.
I'm trying to steal Chib's act, and do good shape. I'm jealous of good shape, so I'm gonna nick it.
I mean, that's not my act. You also do good shapes.
Down. X to down.
Well, Exit Out no longer works.
Oh.
2 old game.
I feel like I might have gone a bit even fail with this one, but it's fine.
I mean,
My eyes might be tired, but I don't know what I'm looking at yet.
That's fine. I haven't really solidified. I know what I'm trying to do.
yeah.
Precisely how much of that is gonna make its way into the final picture is a different matter.
Oh my goodness, I think I see a mumble mouth.
There is no mouth.
I don't see a mumble mouth.
I mean, basically with drawing, you just sort of keep poking the shape until it does what you want, or you decide I'm done poking at the shape.
You poke it with the stick until you give up. Oh, that's a good stop. Oh. Oh my goodness, they're so hairy.
Very floof.
Look at them.
Oh, was that his nose?
Yeah, big nose.
Crumple, crumple.
Oh god. It's just like
here.
it's mumbling, but they like don't stop, so you're just like constantly aware of like someone is like
Oh no, it gets worse.
like this, like when there's just a soft annoying noise that just keeps happening. And it just won't stop. That's them.
Oh, they mumble some music.
They just play music like very
They go-
quietly and not to annoy anyone.
This is the Lone Mumbler and the greatest hit.
Yes, exactly. They just keep constantly like getting asked like, what's your song called?
You're never quite sure when the song starts or finishes. That's just sort of how they speak. You need to work out how the arms are working here. Or not, they just have this on their lap.
Do they actually play the guitar or is it just there for aesthetics? Who knows?
It's just
I mean,
falls down on the string sometimes.
It's not exactly a guitar, considering it's got like 3 holes in it.
Yeah,
I mean, what else are you gonna call it?
It's a fantasy guitar.
I mean, it might also just be a magic instrument, and they don't even have to play it. It just plays whenever they're mumbling.
But
So
they're
it never
always mumbling,
stops.
so it's always playing.
Nothing in this tower is pleasant.
But it's all kind of cute.
Yeah. I mean, is it all?
You can cute spin it. This reminds me of a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, I think.
Getting a bit of Captain Caveman vibes from this, it must be said.
Is that what it is? It's probably. I have no idea what it was called.
Or Wacky Races.
It does look like they're just like they have 3 fingers, but they're also always just like plucking one string. Just
Boom, boom.
playing the one thing over and over again. I love this sound.
You know what? It's this hairy character with a like headband or something. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, Bad Bunch. I did when I was a kid, I did used to watch a lot of Hanna-Barbera, so maybe everything being hairy is just sort of comes from that. Everything I draw is hairy. Hanna-Barbera. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm done looking up Hanna-Barbera characters. I didn't find it.
And this guy just lives in the tower playing music.
Yeah.
They hang out with Gloom Baby.
I like the idea that no one knows what its name is, because anytime anyone asks them their name, it's just sort of mumbling noises.
It's Stoker. It's Stoker syndrome.
Who?
Stoker from 16 Symbols.
Oh, right, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is indeed like that. But for Stoker, it was more like outside intervention, and for this guy, it's just kind of like nobody understands what he's saying. Because it's all just.
Yeah, like, we can understand what Stoker's saying. So, in theory, we could know his name. No one understands what this guy's saying.
No, like, unaware, like, who this guy is, what he's doing here. Does he live here? It's honestly unclear.
Every time we ask, we don't understand what they're saying, so we just leave them be.
Yeah, like at this point we might as well assume they live here because they haven't left yet, but honestly, who knows? I mean, the phenomenon says they don't live here, but you know, who's actually listening to the phenomenon?
No one.
As far as phenomenon is concerned, none of these people should live here.
Yeah, exactly. So why would you listen to the phenomenon about that? They'll just say no. So we're just gonna assume this guy lives here and pays rents, but you know, who knows?
The phenomenon knows.
If he's paying rent, he's not paying it with the singing.
I mean, who can sit next to this person? And a campfire and not just have a good time.
Yeah, that's true.
Just reading a good book.
And just listening to just to single notes being played over and over again.
It's like calming.
Maybe. Unclear if it's calming.
For the first hour, maybe.
And then after that, it just gets annoying.
And then after that, it's kind of hypnotizing.
I mean, I imagine it's like... This is gonna sound weird to Christi and Ragdoll, but it's like train watching.
How dare you?
Where it's just kind of like... It's oddly calming, but also like, why are we listening to this? What? This is the whole thing. Why are we still here?
Look, it was totally planned very well. I knew what I was doing when I've definitely recommended that we watch live footage of a railway crossing in the Netherlands for an hour. YouTube recommends me some weird things, and I don't know why. And I shared it ironically, and then we got stuck into it.
Yeah. We didn't mean to watch it for an hour, it just kind of happened.
Yeah. I learned all about how trains are different in Europe. Like they work.
What part of Europe?
The Netherlands.
Yeah, probably.
You know, they sometimes arrive on time. Sometimes early. I'm not even entirely sure what that means.
It just means they arrive early and stand on a station until it's time to leave.
No, you lost me. You lost me at early. Really.
If something arrives early here, they take off early as well and fuck everyone over.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, anyway, there's the Lone Mumbler.
Yay!
The little friend.
They're very tiny.
They are.
Oh, they were
Would you
tripping
be
hazard.
interested in his mixtape? Which is also just mumbling.
The one note.
And Mike doesn't even pick it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have been mumbling. I don't know how much of it has been cut out by Discord, thinking that it's noise. So. Yeah. And I think is that it? Is that all?
Yeah, I believe so.
Rounds.
That's all that this tower contains.
I mean, probably not all, but you know, for now.
Layers? Should we all the layers?
Yeah.
Ah. Suddenly, big cat.
Suddenly, big cat.
It looks like the middle is bleeding.
Yeah, it does.
These pictures are not all right.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you try and shade in to indicate this area is just entirely shadowed, but you're coloring in red.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for doodles. This incredibly well planned stream.
Yay. It was fun though. We ended up connecting it all together somehow.
Somehow. Well, all, maybe not all. Still not entirely sure how the
No.
aquatic flame sheep fits into all this.
No, they do.
The outlier.
The false witch brought them home because it's supposedly a magic sheep, but no, it's not. It's just on fire.
It's just on fire.
Now it lives near the tower. Lives in/near the tower.
It runs around the tower constantly screaming, bar screaming. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Can't wait to see more of Project Via.
Yes, so this was the first glimpse, apparently.
Of what those streams will look like.
Sure. So yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday with Hitman. Bit more Hitman. I need to look up how you actually do the level that we were on, because no, jungles. That's not Hitman. Yeah, and then on Wednesday, I don't know.
Who knows?
Quite frankly, I don't know. I need to get everything ready for Project Via. At the very least, I need to explain to people what it is. And I'll set up a little room in the Discord. I think we said we'll rebrand the Citadel of Chaos one, because that's not getting used. You know, why not?
Yay.
So yeah, stuff
and things and good times with friends.
Stuff and things. I'm gonna play some songs from the Neverheard soundtrack to end, because that sounds a lot like mumbling. What's the name of the person? Terry S. Taylor. That's the name of the mumbler. His name's the Lone Mumbler. It turns out his name's Terry. Who knew? I can't remember which of these songs is mumbling. We're just gonna have to have potluck, I think. Oh, hang on, that one. That'll work. Cool, fantastic. This is the end of the stream. Thank you very much for coming along. Hope you had a good time, Kira. Sorry for not chatting as much with you and such. Thank you, Ragdoll and Christi and Chib.
Yay, it was fun.
Yes.
Good times.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.